Is Makhachev in a better spot, or is he in a worse spot, having Bobby Green on short notice? Now, there's parts about this that you have to respect right out of the gate, which is Makhachev, and this is one of the reasons I really want this to still be a number one contenders fight. When you're in Islam's shoes and you did everything you agreed to do, you follow the most basic rule of show business, which is the show must go on, and you take a last-minute fight, right? Bobby's taking all the credit. But Islam's doing the same thing that Bobby's doing. Bobby agreed to step in and fight Islam. Islam, on the same day, offered to step in and fight Bobby. Oh, and by the way, they changed the weight class. So Islam had a couple of things working against him. He should not have an opportunity to take it away when he is doing the same thing. That argument's not going to hold up in a court of MMA. But I do submit it for you because I think Bobby Green also deserves to be in that spot. Bobby wouldn't be in a spot like this had this not opened up. Not because Bobby's not good enough to be. Bobby Green is as good as you need to be at this sport if you want to have a career in it. But getting to that placement, there's just a lot of happenstance. He hasn't won his last 7 fights in a row like Benny did. So if you get the call and you step in, I mean, take it all the way to the highest point, guys. If this was a title match and Islam had the belt and stays in and Bobby comes in, yes, it's a title match. Every time you fight, anything's on the table. Everybody's got their chips in. You take everything from the other guy. I want it to be a number one contenders match. And I also don't fully understand the 5 pounds. I can't think of a time, I'm sure it's happened, I can't think of a time that a catch weight has been a 5-round contest. It's rare. And now that I say that, I can think of a couple of times. Khabib versus Al Iaquinta, Marvin Vettori versus Paulo Costa, just for recent memory. But I think my point's the same. Generally, if somebody, hey, I'm not going to be in shape. I can't get down to weight. I'm not prepared to get to... The other side's going to, okay, come in and shave 2 rounds off of this thing. Generally. Nobody did that. Which is my point. I'm trying to give them credit. I'm trying to give respect to Islam, which is another reason nothing should be taken away from Islam. But can you have a catchweight match that's a number one contenders match? Sure, you could take a guy from a catchweight match and make him the number one contender. Can you have it ahead of time? Because again, to use my previous example of the title, the answer is no. If this was a 155-pound world championship match and they weigh in at 160, the world championship is now, by proxy, no longer on the line. The other side of this coin that needs to be looked at, that I'm beginning to think is the correct side of the coin, is I'm way off on this. What in the hell is my deal with this 5 pounds, right? Why is that a big deal to me? But generally and historically speaking, the guy with the 5-pound advantage, like if somebody misses weight, Luke Rockhold recently called that cheating. But in all fairness to Luke's point, if you go over history, it's 97% of the time the gentleman who missed weight and was heavier wins the fight. There is for sure an advantage. Now, this isn't missing weight. This is the changing of weight. So it's a different scenario. And Bobby Green, I got to the bottom of this because it was Bobby that wanted it changed. Bobby said, I'll do the fight. I can't get back to 55. That surprises me only because Bobby just weighed 155. He just did it 13 days ago. Bobby, I don't believe, has ever missed weight. But Bobby's the one that asked for it. Does that matter? Am I making something out of nothing? I do make a fair point when I tell you that if you get to the day of weigh-ins and one guy misses weight, he comes in with the advantage. Luke Rockhold called it cheating. A number of guys call it cheating. Israel Adesanya has called it cheating. Israel Adesanya has called that you don't just take 10% of their purse or 20 in jurisdictions, you take half their purse. And Izzy's going in the right direction. It should not be such a small part of the purse for a violation of the contract in a contest that's going to take place tomorrow when history says you now have an advantage. But that's neither here nor there. It's really neither here nor there. Here's the deal with this fight. Can Islam take Bobby down? It's as simple as that. I can break Islam down very easily, and I could do the same with Khabib, which is this masterful wrestling does not take place in the open. Step 1, push your opponent into the fence. Now, as much as I can break that down, all the opponents did as well. There wasn't a single guy that could stop Khabib from doing it. Khabib would push you into the fence and drag you to the mat, entangle you, and pound you out. The same as Babe Ruth would walk to the mound and tell you where he was going to hit the ball. The same as Mike Tyson would come up with an uppercut followed by a hook. Everybody knew it was going to happen, and nobody could stop it. But the mere fact that you guys all agree with me, the mere fact that we know what Islam needs to do, of course tells us Bobby knows that. So now you don't just have a question of, can Bobby be taken down? Can Bobby stop from being pushed into the fence? That's step one. There's some guys that do this, like in boxing. It's just neurological. They'll throw a jab, boom, and then the power shot comes. They will never throw a power shot without throwing the jab first. There's other boxers that'll pump 2 jabs out there and step in to throw their power hand. But if you're the opponent, it's 100% of the time, 1 jab, oh, get out of the way because the power's coming. You'll know to move on the second shot. It's very relevant. If Bobby, before you get to, can Bobby stop the takedown? I'll ask you a different question. Can Bobby keep his back off the fence? If Bobby's going to be the bigger guy, and it's Bobby that asked for this weight allowance, which tells us he's a pretty big and strong guy, is he going to get bowled and El Matador and pushed into the fence by Islam? You got to start there. Because if the answer is no, we're going to see a different fight from Islam. It does not mean if the answer is no that Bobby wins, and that's what your mind is going to do to you. Don't fall for that trap. We have seen a number of guys, and I'll go back to Khabib as an example, where we thought they had to take the guy down to win. Then they find themselves in a fight where they don't get the takedown. They beat the guy up on their feet. Turns out they have a skill that they never broke out because they never needed to. But that and that alone makes this match very compelling. If Islam Makhachev is going to win in a fashion and with skills that we've yet to see from a guy who is 16-1, that's going to be pretty cool. I want to see what those skills are. I think you guys do too. Bobby Green cut a workout over the weekend. Worked out with one of the most sought-after coaches in MMA, Coach Daryl Christian. Daryl is a multiple-time national wrestling champion. And I talked to Coach Christian. I said, what was he like? How did he feel? I started with, is he in shape? Oh, yeah, he's in shape. Okay. Is his head in the right place? Oh, yeah, that's not a problem. Okay. Coach, let me just get right down to it. Can he stop a takedown? Yes, he can. Is he aware that the takedown is predicated on the pushing into the fence? Yes, he is. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen, but that does answer a lot of questions, and I believe it. Everybody says they're going to stop Islam from taking him down, but Bobby is different. Bobby is special. It's relevant. I think we're going to see a different fight here. Islam's the favorite. I don't disagree with that. For Islam to go throw Bobby down, keep him there, and pound him out is extremely unlikely. It really is very unlikely. It's an interesting match, and now that we're armed with the weight change was requested by Bobby. So we know the taxation on his body is going to be left, and we know the size, at least in theory, is also going to favor him. I think it's going to change how you guys look at this match. And I do feel as you get closer to this match, I mean, look, don't forget you're replacing Benny with Bobby. Benny is special. Benny's great. Benny is great, but Benny is going to bring the only commodity that a fighter knows to bring to the cage, which is the performance the night of. He's not going to give you something ahead of time. He's just not. Islam isn't either. Bobby's been pretty quiet so far, but Bobby's a counterpuncher. If Islam comes at Bobby at all, Bobby's going to start playing these head games. That's relevant. If you can get in a guy's head, if you can see that you can get in a head, the guy starts to fall apart. Doesn't mean you succeed, but the fellow competition sees it too. It's never what you can do to a guy that helps to beat the guy. It's what you and 3 other guys do to a guy, and then you sit down and you watch the tape and you study and you come up with your blueprint. We're going to see something new from Islam. I do believe that. We're going to have to see something new from Islam. I do believe that. What's it going to be? That's between those boys.